So what's the deal with how we name our harmony parts, like upper, lower harmony, or SAT, soprano, alto, tenor? What's the deal? Can we just all decide on the same thing? Well, I kind of want to explain my thought process of why I've landed on what I've landed on, and kind of ask you what you're doing at your church and if you have any suggestions, because it's a little confusing and I think there's good reason for it. So if you're doing more choral type of harmonies or like hymnal harmonies, right, you usually have 4 parts, and that is soprano, alto, tenor, bass. And lots of the hymns, right, they're all written in 4 parts so that you could sing them that way. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. And when it's written that way, you always have the top line, which is the soprano, and that is the melody. And then right below that, the alto line, then below that, the tenor line and the bass line. And when it's done together, it sounds really beautiful and it sounds like these choral harmonies. And for me, when I went to college, right, I took theory and learned how to write these 4-part Bach style choral harmonies. And it's really, really beautiful to write harmonies that way. However, when it comes to contemporary harmonizing, like kind of how we've gotten used to with pop music and contemporary worship music, usually you have a melody and then you just have the 2 other harmony parts creating a 3-part harmony, which is all 3 notes in a major chord or a minor chord. And you're basically just always following the trajectory of the melody and singing either a harmony above it or below it. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Lots of these harmonies are not extremely fancy. We just come up with them on the spot, and they need to be very intuitive, right? And so they're not stuff like, if you could come up with cooler sounding parts if you actually arranged it, you could come up with all sorts of things. And so if you take the traditional sense, you could just name the melody soprano, and then you have the harmony right below that as the alto, the harmony right below that as the tenor, and then let's say you have a baritone singing with you, maybe they could just double the melody an octave below the soprano. So then you have 2 people singing melody. Really works nicely because especially if you have someone, a soprano, leading the song, or maybe a baritone, then it works really nice because your singers always get used to, as a tenor, if I'm singing with a baritone singing a melody, I'm just used to always finding that harmony right above the melody. And then my ears just slowly over time get used to always finding the harmony right above the melody. Similarly, the alto gets used to finding the harmony right below the soprano, and their ears just get tuned to that, and it becomes easy to find those harmony parts. And that works really, really nicely unless you have the melody in a different range other than a soprano or a baritone, right? And you know what? That has kind of become the case in modern worship music because we have so many tenors who are leading these songs. Or in turn, we have altos who are leading the songs. And so when, I'm just gonna use a tenor example because I'm a tenor. If we have the tenor now, that is our melody. If we use our system that I'm the soprano or the melody, and I try to have my other guy singer sing a tenor harmony above me, that makes it super, super high, and their range, like that's just out of their range, right? Same thing. Now let's take that and we have an alto singer sing a harmony above that, and now it's way out of their range too. And so really what we do is we'd assign the alto to sing what used to be called the tenor, and then we assign the tenor to sing an alto but below. So see how it just gets really confusing, and now we're saying like, oh no, you sing the alto part, but you're a tenor, and so really it's just all confusing again. And so that's where we come in with this idea of maybe we could just call an upper harmony and a lower harmony, right? So then take my example of, as a tenor, I'll just have maybe an alto singer sing the upper harmony. And really, it could be anyone. I could just assign anyone to sing the upper harmony on my team. They could be a soprano or an alto, and I just tell them, sing the upper harmony. Similarly, if I have a baritone on my team, I could tell them, sing the lower harmony to me. And they're really thinking, okay, you're on the melody, and I'm gonna find the harmony that's below you or right or above you. And so that works nicely in a way because now we're not assigning vocal ranges with our harmony parts. They're just in relation to the melody. And so you as the arranger can assign your team members to sing an upper harmony, a lower harmony, a unison, an octave above. You can tell them, The tricky thing with this is when you want to assign a harmony that's not directly above or below, because sometimes you're going to want to have that situation where, let's say me as a tenor, I'm singing in my low range. I don't want another guy to sing a lower to that because that's just too low. So I'm going to have the other guy sing an upper harmony, and then I'm going to have the other lady, or let's say, sing above that. Now I'm going to call that one a lower harmony, even though she's singing above everyone else. And so then I'll oftentimes call it an octave up, because I'm not having her sing a lower to me, I'm having her sing a lower harmony. It still is the exact lower harmony, it's just lower than the octave above me, right? And so you could just think of it that way. That is a little bit confusing, and I haven't figured out the best way to communicate that. So far, I've just been calling it exactly that, a lower harmony, the octave up, or maybe an upper harmony, the octave down. The principle is still the same, where the harmony singer is getting used to whether they're singing a harmony that's below the melody or above the melody. And the nice thing about this type of language is that you can, even within a certain arrangement, you can have your singers jump around to different parts, which I love to do, actually. I like to have maybe one chorus, I'll have the guy sing the lower harmony and another girl sing the upper harmony. And then on the final chorus, I'll bump all of us up so that we're all inverting up, and now we're all singing a harmony above it. And then we can just call it what it is. We can tell them, sing the upper harmony, sing the lower harmony octave up. There's just so many ways to do it. So I'd really be curious, like, how do you name your harmonies? Could you let me know in the comments? If you have any better ideas, I would be open to trying to, I'm still processing how I want to be naming harmony parts. I've landed on this for now, but I could see there could be other ways that would work just as well, if not better. So please let me know what your thoughts are. I guess you have to decide, are you gonna lock in the tenor and the alto to always be like I'm saying, the lower and upper? Or I've also heard it done where the tenor and the alto and the soprano, they're like movable, just always based on their range. Someone will say then, oh, the melody's in the tenor, so then you're singing either a soprano harmony or an alto harmony, and you could just know where the melody is and just always go off of that. So that's another way to do it. Or you could just call it like part 1, part 2, harmony part 1, harmony part 2. But then now you're not giving it any context to where your ear is hearing it. So I don't know. I guess the main hope with upper and lower harmonies is that over time, my harmony singers in my church would just get used to hearing their harmony in relation to the melody, and then they'd become more flexible to just adapt to other harmonies and just always being aware of where they stand in the chord. So that would be the hope, but let me know. Let me know what you think. If you have any better ideas, let me know in the comments. And if you'd like to watch another video related to harmony singing, I have a bunch of them right here. YouTube thinks that you're gonna like it, and I think you're gonna like it too.